Have you ever had that heated debate with someone and thought, are we even living on the same planet right now? Well, plot twist, you're kind of not. See, reality isn't this one size fits all experience. It's more like a custom playlist curated by emotions, beliefs, and that weird thing your uncle said at Thanksgiving 5 years ago that still sort of haunts you. And here's the kicker. By the end of this video, you're going to realize why that's actually not our problem. It's what makes life beautiful, frustrating, hilarious, and deeply human. Ever wonder why two people can watch the same movie and one cries like their pet goldfish just died and the other's like, mid? Or why you remember childhood as a magical wonderland, but your sibling remembers it as a psychological endurance test? Stick around, because today we're diving into the mind-bending truth that everyone's reality is completely different, and why that's not just okay, it's essential. Also bonus, by the end, you might argue less with people, or at least win arguments by saying, hey, that's just your subjective reality. Try it. It's annoyingly effective. There is no one truth. You see the world through your lens, and I see it through mine. And let's be honest here, sometimes my lens is smudged with yesterday's emotional meltdown and tainted by 3 cups of bad coffee. But here's the deal, guys, neither of us is wrong. And that's the wild part. There's no single universal truth with a capital T just floating around, waiting for us to grab it like some philosophical Pokemon. Life, it's really messy, it's subjective, and that's what makes it ridiculously fascinating. Think about this. You and I could walk through the same park on the same sunny day. You're out here admiring the flowers, soaking in the peaceful vibes. Meanwhile, I'm on high alert, dodging every bee like I'm in some low-budget action movie. Same park, same weather, 2 completely different realities. And that's because reality isn't about what's out there. It's about what's going on in here. Your experiences, they shape what you believe. Your beliefs, they shape how you interpret the world. And boom, just like that, your truth is born. And you know, this is why debates on the internet are basically endless. One person's out here like, pineapple absolutely belongs on pizza, and another is typing an emotional dissertation about how that's a culinary crime against humanity sponsored by the Italian government. Who's right? Both. Neither. It's pizza. Relax. But in all seriousness, embracing this idea that there's no single right way to experience or understand something can really change the way you navigate your life. Instead of asking, how can they not see what I see? Try asking, what have they experienced that makes them see it that way? It's not about agreeing on everything. It's about realizing that agreement isn't the goal, understanding each other is. And once you really get this, you start moving through life with more empathy, less judgment, and let's be honest, a lot less exhausting online arguments. Because at the end of the day, there's no one truth. There's only your truth, and you know what? That's enough. Everyone lives in their own reality. Have you ever wondered why 2 people can live through the exact same moment and walk away telling 2 completely different stories? It's like reality is one giant group project, but everyone's secretly working on their own version of it. Take this for example. You and a friend, me, go to the same party. You are having a blast, the music's bumping, snacks are top tier, and you're living your best social butterfly life. Meanwhile, your friend, me, is in the corner, internally screaming, plotting my escape, and wondering why guacamole costs extra, but emotional damage is free at parties. And yeah, oh, where is the cat, by the way? Same event, wildly different experiences. And why? Because we're all living inside our own little mental bubble. Our unique version of reality built from years of experiences, emotions, and whatever weird conspiracy theories we've accidentally stumbled across at 2 a.m. And you know what's even crazier is neither experience is wrong. Your brain is basically running its own custom software complete with weird patches, emotional pop-up ads, and that one outdated belief you refuse to install, and maybe, some viral spyware. Meanwhile, everyone else is running a completely different OS. And that's why when someone says, you are overreacting, it feels like literally the most invalidating thing in the world. No, Brenda, I am not overreacting. I am reacting according to my version of reality. Thank you very much. It's like, we're all using different camera filters on the same moment. You're out here in vibrant, ultra-saturated mode, and someone else is stuck in moody, black and white existential dread. And the thing is, that is okay. The real magic happens when you stop trying to drag people into your own version of reality and start visiting theirs a bit. You don't actually have to move into their reality, just take a tour, see the sights, maybe grab a coffee in their mental cafe. Because once you realize that everyone's just doing their best with the emotional tools and experiences they've got, life gets a little easier. People become a little less confusing and more, well, human to you. So the next time you're side-eyeing someone's totally wild take on a situation, remember this. What shapes your reality isn't what you see, it's how you see it. Well, if that doesn't work, you can always blame Mercury being in retrograde. Your mindset creates your reality. Here's a fun little reality bomb for you. The exact same event can be a blessing to one person and a full-on curse to another. And no, this isn't some weird cosmic lottery. It's all about mindset. Your mindset is basically that Instagram filter for your life. You know the one. Turn it up and suddenly everything's bright, hopeful, and your existential crisis has a soft glow, and leave it off and everything's just beige and mildly depressing. Let's put this into a real life scenario. You lose your job, okay? Person A is out here thinking, this is the universe giving me a fresh start. Time to launch that alpaca scarf Etsy shop I've been dreaming about. Meanwhile, person B is spiraling like, well, this is it. I am a failure. Guess I'll just live under a bridge and train pigeons now. Same event, two entirely different movies playing in their heads. The plot twist here is though, you get to choose which movie you star in. Now, I'm not saying you have to slap a smile on your face and pretend everything's fine when it's not. This is not a Disney Channel original movie, but you can decide how you frame what's happening. Is it a dead end or is it a detour? Is it a failure or a learning curve so sharp that it gives you mental whiplash? Resilience is a key player here. It's that tiny scrappy part of you that whispers, hey, maybe this awful thing is the setup for something way better. And when you start feeding that voice instead of the one telling you it's all doomed, that's when your reality starts to shift. And the coolest part is your mindset is not hardwired. It's not like a factory setting you're stuck with. You can update it, upgrade it, and honestly, it probably needs a software patch every now and then. Because at the end of the day, the world doesn't change just because you wish it would, but change how you look at the world and suddenly everything changes for you. Adversity doesn't feel the same for everyone. Let's talk about storms. Some people stand in the middle of chaos like they're starring in a dramatic music video, rain pouring down, slow motion hair flip, unbothered, while others, one gust of wind and they're already Googling how to move to the desert and avoid storms forever. Same storm, totally different reactions, right? And that's because adversity doesn't hit everyone the same way. And it's not about who's stronger or weaker. It's about capacity. And think of capacity like emotional cup sizes. Some people have like a giant industrial strength coffee mug for stress. They can just keep pouring stress in it and somehow function. And others, they're working with a tiny espresso shot glass. And one bad email is enough to have it overflowing before lunch. And here's the thing, both are valid. Your capacity for handling adversity, guys, is shaped by everything that's happened before. Your upbringing, your past, your traumas, support system or lack of one, and yeah, even how much sleep you got last night. This is why comparing your struggles to someone else's is basically emotional self-sabotage. You are not weak because something feels hard, and you're not broken because you're struggling. You're just you, dealing with your version of hard at your pace. So next time you're tempted to say, why can't I handle this like other people? Pause. Ask instead, what do I need right now to build my capacity, to make it bigger? And if the answer is snacks and a nap, totally valid. Remember, adversity feels different for everyone, and that's why your journey can never be compared to anyone else's. Shared space doesn't mean shared experiences. Quick question, did you and your siblings actually grow up with the same parents? Think about it. Same house? Sure. Same Wi-Fi password? Probably. But the same parents? Highly unlikely. See, parents evolve, and sometimes they also have favorites as well. By the time the youngest kid rolls around, mom and dad are out here running a survival mode, just keep them alive parenting strategy sometimes. Meanwhile, the oldest child grew up under like version 1.0, overachiever parental control edition. It's wild, right? You all lived in the same house, but it felt like totally different universes. I mean, there's other psychology too, but let's just keep it simple. This is why one sibling might remember a parent who was super strict, while the other remembers them as vaguely present but mostly napping on the couch. Neither memory is wrong. Both experiences are real to each person, and it's not just about parents. Think about school. Same teachers, same classes. One person remembers it as their glory days of their social prime, and someone else remembers it as a daily episode of, how fast can I fake being sick? The takeaway here, just because you shared space doesn't mean you shared the same emotional landscape. It's like living in the same house but playing different soundtracks in your own private headphones. One person's listening to upbeat motivational anthems, the other's got rainy mood, lo-fi sad vibes on repeat. So next time you're at a family gathering and someone starts telling a childhood story that sounds like complete fiction to you, remember, it's not a lie. It's just their version of reality. Same house, different realities, because no two experiences are ever the same. Your emotions filter your world. Ever notice how the exact same compliment can hit completely differently depending on your mood? One day, someone says, hey, you're looking great today, and you're basically glowing like you just leveled up in a video game. The next day though, the same person, same compliment, and you're standing there thinking, what's that supposed to mean? Did I look terrible yesterday? That, my friend, is your emotional filter doing its thing. You don't see the world as it is, you see it as you are. Happy? The rain looks poetic and peaceful. Sad? Suddenly, it's a depressing indie film and you're the tragic main character. Your emotions are like tinted sunglasses for reality. Put on the everything is awful pair, and even a puppy video can't save your day. Pop out for life is good shades, and suddenly you're smiling at potholes like they're charming little street quirks. And recognizing this doesn't just help you navigate your own ups and downs, it also makes you way more compassionate towards others. That coworker who snapped at you, maybe they're not actually the villain in your story. Maybe they're just wearing the I'm overwhelmed and running on 3 hours of sleep emotional glasses today. The trick is learning to notice when your emotional filter is skewing things. And sometimes you just need to sit back and think, wait, am I really mad at the world right now, or am I just hangry? Spoiler alert, is probably the hanger, and at the end of the day, your emotions don't just shape reality, they shape how you interact with the world too. You are a different person to everyone you meet. Here's a mind bender for you. If you've got 10 friends, there are 10 completely different versions of you walking around in their heads, and none of them match the one you see in the mirror. You're not just one person, but you're basically a whole cinematic universe, like the marvel of human personalities. Some people see you as a responsible hero, always calm and collected. Others, total chaos goblin energy. And you know what? They are both right. Because every person you meet experiences you through the lens of their own beliefs, their mood when they met you, and honestly how hangry you were that day. It's like everyone's running their own personal version of the You Show with different episodes, plot twists, and special guest appearances. You can't control how they write the script. You can only control how you show up. And this is where people get stuck. We waste so much time trying to manage other people's perceptions of us. Spoiler alert, that's a full-time job you'll never get paid for. So instead of trying to micromanage your public relations like you're a celebrity on a scandal tour, just focus on being the most authentic version of you. Be the kind of person who can look back and think, hey, at least my plotline was consistent, even if it was a little unhinged at times. Because at the end of the day, you're not defined by one perspective. Everyone sees a different version of you, and that's perfectly okay. Just maybe keep your villain origin story to a minimum, or at least make it entertaining. Memory is subjective. Here's something that'll make your last family argument make a whole lot more sense. Your memory isn't a recording, it's a highlight reel, directed, edited, and sometimes wildly exaggerated by, well, you. Think about it. 2 people can remember the same vacation completely differently. You're out here remembering the stunning beaches and epic sunsets. Meanwhile, your sibling's main memory is that time you argued over who ate the last granola bar in a dramatic showdown that honestly deserved its own reality TV show. And who's right? Both of you, and also kind of neither. See, your brain doesn't store memories like files in a hard drive. It stores them more like a Pinterest board of vibes, sprinkled with emotional glitter and some accidental Photoshop. And every time you visit a memory, you're not just recalling it, you're rewriting it based on how you feel right now. And this is why people can swear up and down that something happened a certain way, and you're sitting there wondering if you accidentally slipped into an alternative timeline. And let's be real, sometimes your memory straight up lies to protect your ego. That hilarious joke you think crushed at party, yeah, it might have been followed by the longest, most awkward silence in history. But hey, why ruin a good story, right? The important thing to remember is, pun fully intended, is that your memories aren't about perfect accuracy. They're about how you experienced life at the time. So the next time you and someone else can't agree on what really happened, just shrug and say, hey, I guess that's just my director's cut. Because at the end of the day, your memories don't define you. They reflect the way you've experienced your life, the beauty of perspective. What if I told you that the way you see the world is both your greatest strength and your biggest limitation? Yeah, sit with that for 1 second. Your perspective is like your personal Google Maps. It shows you the roads you know, the routes you trust, and occasionally reroutes you directly into emotional traffic. But here's the thing. Just because it's the map you're using doesn't mean it's the only one that exists. When you shift your perspective even slightly, it's like unlocking a hidden path you didn't know was there. That coworker who's been getting on your nerves, maybe they're not trying to ruin your life. They're just dealing with their own mess, and that failure you keep replaying in your head, maybe it wasn't a dead end, but the awkward plot building montage before your big success moment. Perspective isn't about denying reality. It's about realizing that there are multiple realities, and sometimes yours could use a little zooming out. Want a superpower? Learn to see through someone else's lens for a moment. Instant empathy unlocks. Relationships improve. Your patient goes from barely hanging on to wise monk energy. And here's a secret bonus. When you choose to shift your own perspective, your entire world opens up. That impossible problem, there's a new solution. That old grudge, less important. That bad day, just a small scene in a much bigger, way more interesting story. Because at the end of it all, the beauty of life isn't in seeing the same, it's in understanding the differences. And honestly, this makes this chaotic, unpredictable ride way more beautiful. So here's the big takeaway. There's no right or wrong way to experience life. Your perspective is yours and theirs is theirs, and that's perfectly okay. Instead of wasting time fighting to be understood or endlessly trying to convince people to see things your way, try something revolutionary. Embrace the chaos. Your truth doesn't have to be their truth, and their reality doesn't cancel out yours. And honestly, that's what makes this whole messy, beautiful human experience so extraordinary. Imagine how boring life would be if we all agreed on everything. No debates about pineapple on pizza, no dramatic arguments over who really won that board game 5 years ago, no hilarious stories about how wildly wrong someone else remembers that one vacation. And life's richer because the truths are so different. So stop chasing agreement. Chase understanding instead. And if that feels like too much work today, at least chase a good snack and a nap. That works too. If this hit home, or even just made you laugh once, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and hey, share this video with someone who's definitely living in their own reality. You know the one. If you like this video, you may like one of these two here.